Do you think that universities would be teaching the basics of eclipses to freshmen? It's not like they don't already know the mechanics of an eclipse backwards. After all, almost anyone can demonstrate an eclipse without holding a degree because it's elementary level information, and the testament to its authority has long been accepted. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you the fact that NASA has not only lied to the entire world population on this matter, but that NASA recently doubled down on this lie with fraudulent evidence. In part 1 of this video covering Earthshine, I pointed out the mistake in this CGI animation covering the Great American Eclipse. Now for that video I didn't have the time or resources to reanimate what an eclipse should have looked like, and instead used flags like this to stir your senses into re-examining what you'd been taught. I might point out that this is a great example of how a graphic artist without a degree in science can create such a compelling presentation. This that you're looking at is an echo chamber of what the scientific community teaches children and reinforces to adults what happens during a solar eclipse, while this simple diagram represents what should actually be happening. Let me explain the difference. During a total eclipse, an observer on the Earth who looks to the heavens will see that the Sun and the Moon are exactly the same size in the sky. These diagrams show the Sun to be much larger than the Moon, therefore every total eclipse diagram that you've ever seen and everything you're ever taught about eclipses is incorrect. These independent video examples are just a few of the thousands now available to watch on the internet that demonstrate the non-existence of a penumbra. They are all supporting evidence that point toward NASA alongside affiliated international space agencies that all represent major institutions, international academies, astronomical societies, universities, and a vast community of intellectuals worldwide, are blatantly defrauding the scientific and educational community of the knowledge and facts of where we live. Now I understand that this basic information goes way back before Operation Paperclip and the Nazi-instituted NASA even existed, but with the billions of taxpayer dollars taken from American citizens every year, alongside international investors of NASA space technologies and scientific research, somebody should have taken heed of this mistake and reported it by now. Several years ago, NASA posted this time-lapse video of Earth, purportedly from NOAA's Deep Space Climate Observatory satellite that's stationed a million miles away in outer space. Despite the fact that this looks 100% like the Photoshop airbrush tool was used to deface the infamous blue marble, you can plainly see what NASA purports to be the shadow of the Moon being cast upon the globe. Take note of the size and appearance of the shadow. NASA posted this video within 2 days of the American eclipse, once again asserting that this is actual time-lapse footage from the same satellite stationed a million miles into outer space. Again, take note of the size and the appearance of the shadow. To demonstrate my point, here is real video footage of the eclipse from a balloon. This is NASA's footage. Here is real video footage from a plane. This is NASA's footage. Here is real video footage from a mountaintop. This is NASA's footage. This is real video footage from another balloon. This is NASA's footage. This is a moon shadow upon Jupiter. Do you notice the shadow? It's the same size as the moon. I could keep going all day, and it simply frames the inevitable truth that NASA has presented material to the world that it claims to be real when amateur and professional footage alike proves it to be otherwise. The inquisitive must further ask, why has the scientific community accepted the catastrophically tiny moon shadow in relation to the scientifically agreed upon size of the moon? Because, in all seriousness, the moon is supposed to be 2159 miles in diameter, so how could its shadow possibly be just 70 miles wide? It defies physics. Here's Jupiter's moon shadow again, supporting no evidence of a penumbra. With Earthshine also conspicuously absent during any total solar eclipse, it becomes absolutely ludicrous that the scientific community haven't put one and one together and come to the only rational conclusion that planetary mechanics is not being demonstrated. And NASA knows it. It doesn't stop at this blatantly CGI video, because if it can be easily proven that no penumbra exists, and NASA has been disguising this fact, then NASA must be remaining silent on a scientific discovery that they've known since the early days of spaceflight. Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yeah, there's only a surface. There's nothing inside.
Is the sun actually, do you believe, combusting in and out
It's
itself?
not burning anything. There's no fusion in the sun. That's well understood.
Proven.
Yeah, well, there's just not the way to prove that there is any. It's only in the flares that you get fusion. That's why all the X-rays. The flares, the arcs, and the X-rays, and the microwaves, and whatever result of fusion in the arcs. There's no fusion in the sun. They don't know how the sun works. It's not burning anything. It doesn't have to. It's a converter.
Of what?
I don't know. Nobody knows. But that's what it does. That's the only thing it can do, because that's how everything works.
It's transforming from another dimension.
Yeah, you could say it's taking energy from another dimension, counter space.
Astrophysicists and astronomers alike have a duty to re-examine the eclipse model that they were taught as a child. Further, NASA must be lawfully challenged over the fact that they have passed blatantly fraudulent CGI imagery as evidence from space to the world. We must also ask more fundamentally, how is it that the scientific community can remain derelict in their duty to identify such an error for generations? Many questions are now being asked of the entire space program by diligent individuals that are all beginning to ask the one question that will ultimately become of this inquiry. Where are we in the universe? I have further evidence of NASA JPL fraud involving Voyager 1 that I'll discuss in my next video. So keep an ear out if you want to be the first to find out, and remember, together we're going to be awesome. Shalom.